So the wannabe king has decided to take over the police in Washington, D.C., and has sent the National Guards in order to fight crime in DC. This is just his excuse in order to take over the police and use the National Guard against American citizens.
As the federal government will take over policing in Washington, D.C., he's also deploying the National Guard there to combat crime.
WGN political reporter Taman Bradley is in the newsroom now. Taman, could we see that here as well?
That's what the president is saying, Ben. A federal takeover of Washington, D.C. police is now underway, with President Trump warning New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago could be next.
I'm curious as to why he hasn't named any cities in red states that have high crime rates, higher than Washington, D.C.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor.
Declaring a public safety emergency in Washington, D.C., today President Trump took control of the city's police, and he warned he might expand the approach to other municipalities like Chicago.
And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster.
The president also slammed Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker.
We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business, and he ran for governor.
It's funny how somebody who's so extremely incompetent that they bankrupted casinos, and a person who's been convicted on crimes of essaying a woman is talking about how somebody else is incompetent and talking about crime.
And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You know, you never know what happens.
Well, he lost a little weight, so maybe that's going to happen. Coming from the dude who is extremely overweight.
Governor Pritzker responded to the president's threat.
He has absolutely no right and no legal ability to send troops in to the city of Chicago, and so I reject that notion.
And the governor reacted to the president's comments about his weight.
As to everything else that he had to say this morning, I guess I should say thank you for the compliment. I reject criticism and don't really want to respond to criticism from Donald Trump, who inherited his money and then went bankrupt 6 times and then defrauded his business partners. And by the way, he cheats at golf.
He just doesn't defraud his business partners, but he defrauds his own base. But for some reason, majority of the people that vote for Trump have no issue with Trump taking as much money from them as he wants.
Trump says crime is out of control in Chicago, but police statistics show a downward trend. Violent crime is down year to year 23%. Shooting incidents are down 37%. And the city is on track to have fewer than 500 homicides. Through August 10th, there were 249 homicides in Chicago, compared to 100 more this time last year.
I am concerned about crime, as I'm certain everyone here is. But the bottom line is chaos is not the answer. This sort of theater of the absurd in politics is not the answer. Federalizing the police force of America is not the answer.
In a statement, Mayor Johnson said sending in the National Guard would undermine Chicago's public safety efforts. If President Trump wants to help make Chicago safer, he said, he can start by releasing the funds for anti-violence programs that have been critical to our work to drive down crime and violence. Also today, this from the mayor of Washington, D.C.
Everybody should follow the law, the police and the community.
President Trump also said today he's going to change no cash bail in Illinois. No cash bail is part of a series of criminal justice reforms passed by the Democratic supermajority in Springfield. The U.S. president cannot change state law, Ben and Dina.
But Trump thinks he has the right to control the rights of the state, to control who is mayor of a city, who is governor.